recovery is probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I'm able to see things clear. I'm able to remember things. I mean, this is how I decided that I want to live my life, and I don't ever want to go back.
Them last 2 albums didn't count. Encore, I was on drugs. Relapse, I was flushing them out.
By 2010, Marshall Mathers, better known as Eminem, had already cemented his place in hip-hop history. But behind the scenes, he was fighting a battle much bigger than music. After years of addiction, personal struggles, and creative missteps, he had one mission: rebuild his life and his legacy. That mission gave birth to Recovery, an album that would redefine his career.
Nice to see you back. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Awesome.
Got my water. I'm good.
There you go. With this new album called Recovery. I want to get just a few words about the making of this record. About how long it took, and how was it an enjoyable experience for you? Would you rate the enjoyment of it compared to your previous records?
It was damn. How do I rate that? It was definitely a fun album to make. It was one of them things where it felt like a breath of fresh air to get so many different tracks, different sounds from everybody, and be able to make a record, and also to thinking outside the box, being able to go outside the box and just get different tracks and things like that. It was definitely fun, man. I felt like I got a chance to experiment with play around with different flows and things like that, because I've always been, I think, the type of artist that just does whatever the beat's telling you to. But
instinctual.
But when you get so many different tempos and so many different sounds inside the beat and feels and everything, you're allowed to experiment even more. So this is definitely one of the funnest ones that I did.
Was there one song in particular that you really remember having a good time with, or a rhyme that you wrote on that record that you just thought, man, this is a real new level for me, as an artist and what I've achieved here?
I don't know about that. I feel like every record was fun for me to make. If it wasn't, I guess I wouldn't have did it.
Yeah, that's
what
right.
I mean?
Yeah.
The records that weren't fun for me to make probably came out that way. It probably sounded like it, so they probably didn't make the album.
I heard you say that before, actually, that you sort of felt like you were at a point in your life where you could look back on your back catalogue and what you've achieved and feel like that maybe you undersold yourself as an artist or your talent with a few records. At what point did you come to that realization?
That I undersold?
Well, yeah, that you made records that you thought weren't necessarily like up to your own standards.
Oh, definitely. There was records that I felt like. There was a long period, a good 4 or 5 year period where I felt like I definitely gave the public a lot of subpar material. You know what I mean? There was a lot of
That's
shit,
a huge
man.
moment of clarity, though, for an artist. Most people go through their whole lives without realizing that,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work that I can look back and be proud of, and there's also a lot of work that I feel like, man, what the was I thinking when I did that?
What's coming up next for you, real quick, before I let you get out of here and get on your plane, man? What's happening?
Going home.
Good. That's always good news.
Going home, man. I'm tired.
Yeah, I bet. And Slaughterhouse, a few words about that. Hopefully you might get that away.
Slaughterhouse, we're just waiting to get the deal finished. But it's going to be crazy. I think that record is going to be crazy, and that's going to be fun to make. And that's where I might step back in and try to produce a little bit, too.
So Shady Records is still a priority for you? It's something you still really believe in?
Yeah, definitely. Shady Records, which we're definitely trying to get it back up and running.
Great.
You know what I mean? I think we're in a rebuilding process right now. So
I can't wait to see what you build, man. Thank you for your time.
Man.
Always good to see you.
No doubt.
Eminem's struggles with addiction nearly cost him everything. After overdosing on methadone in 2007, he spent years trying to get clean.
Been through a very dark time in your life. You took a 5-year hiatus. How did you pull yourself out of that dark time?
Well, it was a process, man. Yeah. It took me a while to actually admit, that I had a problem. I mean, in the hip-hop world that I live in, I think that it can be mistaken for weakness. And the last thing you want to do in hip-hop is admit that you're weak. But if I didn't admit that I was weak with this certain thing, I was going to die, so.
How close did you come?
I certainly probably a couple hours away from death. It does feel like a second chance in the sense of at life again, I almost fucking died. So it's like that in itself, like I'm not gonna blow this chance.
His previous album, Relapse, marked his return, but many critics felt it lacked emotional depth. Eminem himself later admitted he wasn't fully there yet.
I think Relapse, you can listen to it straight through, and there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of funny moments, humorous things, but there's a lot of punchlines and jokes and things like that. But I think that once you listen to it once, it's kind of like, at least I felt like the joke's over.
I see what you're saying.
So it's not something that you can continuously really listen to over and over and over.
He needed an album that truly reflected his journey. Determined to prove himself again, M scrapped Relapse 2 and started fresh.
As I settle into recovery, my brain moves faster, I think faster, my thoughts are sharper, I'm clearer. There's a whole new awareness about me.
Unlike his past albums, Recovery featured a diverse production team, including DJ Khalil, Just Blaze, and Boy Wonder. But more than the features or production, Recovery was about honesty. Tracks like Talking to Myself and Going Through Changes revealed his inner demons, while songs like Not Afraid served as an anthem of resilience.
Basically, the song is about not being afraid to, stand up and face your demons and your fears or whatever. It's basically I'm running from myself. Like everywhere I turn, I see myself, my own reflection, and it's kind of like that's what I'm running from, the whole time.
Eminem also stepped outside his comfort zone by collaborating with pop artists like Rihanna and Pink, a move that helped expand his audience. Released on June 18, 2010, Recovery was an instant success. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, selling 741,000 copies in its first week. It went on to become the best-selling album of 2010 worldwide, moving over 20 million copies to date. The album produced two of Eminem's biggest hits, Not Afraid and Love the Way You Lie. Not Afraid became the first rap single to debut at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, while Love the Way You Lie topped charts in over 20 countries and became one of the best-selling singles of all time. Beyond the numbers, Recovery left a lasting impact. It won the Grammy for Best Rap Album in 2011, marking Eminem's comeback as a dominant force in music. More importantly, it resonated with millions struggling with addiction and mental health, proving that even at rock bottom, you can rise again. From the ashes of his darkest days, Eminem emerged stronger, delivering a message that still echoes today. You can do anything you set your mind to. And with Recovery, he did just that.
I do feel like I have something to prove by coming back out here and doing these shows as far as to myself, that I can do it. And I want to get back out here, and I want to feel nervous. I want to feel the tension. I want to feel tense. I want to feel the energy that these people give me, because everything that they give to me, I'm going to give it back to them. So I do feel like, I got something I want to prove to myself, but also, to any of the fans that maybe came to the last show and saw that I was just a fucking mess.